everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome. That's like my 3-year-old smile, Tay. That's such a big. Thank you all for being here.
That's the nervous smile.
We'll be all right. We'll be all right. So thank you to everybody for being here. Julian, my co-host, is back this week. And I have Tay down below me, who is Prison to Profit, who has been on with us before, as well as Miss Tiffany from Thrifting Vegas. And it's her first time coming on. And I actually already have Tiffany rescheduled, guys, to come on again. So she's committed. She's already committed to a second show. So I am going to make everyone big, and also myself and Julian, so we can introduce ourselves. And I see there are already a lot of questions in the chat. So as soon as we introduce ourselves, we will get right to the questions. All right, Mr. Dante.
What's going on? What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Say. And today I am a guest on the Nurse Flipper Show. And half of you probably know me, I guess. Some of you probably don't, but if you don't know who I am, my name is Dante. I did a little bit of time in prison. My name is Prison to Profit because I happened to go to prison. I did like 8 years and some change. Came home and I discovered reselling, and now I just try to show people, like, if I can make reselling my full-time job, like you can too, no matter what your background is. And that's pretty much the short version.
Perfect. All right, Miss Tiffany.
Hello, I'm Tiffany. My channel is Thrifting Vegas. I'm originally from England, and I'm really new at this. I only started my channel in February, but for some reason you guys love me and it just exploded. So I'm really excited. I'm really thankful for Kat for this opportunity to be on her show. And yeah, thanks everybody for subscribing and following me.
Perfect. All right, Julian.
Hello, I'm Julian. I'm still slightly sick. My voice usually isn't like this. I am a YouTuber. That's my name right there, Bearded Thrift Machine. And I do the same thing. I sell stuff online, and I do it full time. And thank you, Kat, for letting me back on, for not showing up last week.
It's okay.
I caught out sick.
Hi, everybody. In case you don't know me, my name is Kat. I am the Nurse Flipper. I am still a nurse. I work part-time at nursing, 2 12-hour shifts a week. And then I do eBay reselling. And on my channel, I show some thrift hauls, but I also do like eBay tutorials and how-to videos. So if you don't know me, you're on my channel now, so feel free to subscribe. All right. Took myself out. Let's see. Diane Kwan was the first one. So she's hitting Tiffany here first. She wants to know if you have any assistance with any aspect of reselling. If not, how do you manage it all by yourself?
I do most of it alone. It's a lot. It's a lot, especially since I've started my YouTube channel. It's been, very challenging to get it all done. My mom is fantastic. She is so supportive. And she does help me with the comments, and she gives me some advice on the comments and how to handle things. And my dad is great. He will give me advice on thrifting and sometimes what to pick up, what to leave. And he's just so level-headed. He gives me a really good, logical aspect of a business, in the business sense. My husband is amazing. Without him, I wouldn't have even started my channel. And my kids too, they're really supportive and they're wonderful. So it's really a family effort.
Perfect. Mr. Duncan. Duncan always has to tell us what he's eating. So it must be, I think it's lunchtime there. I think it's lunchtime. Okay, so Duncan wants to know what's one thing that you can do to improve your reselling process.
And this depends on the process that you're talking about, shipping, or like if the sourcing process. There's many different ways you can go about that. The most important process is learning which items to purchase versus which items to leave behind. I think that's the process as resellers, like we need to stick with the most. Like we need to try to get that down packed, like learning our sell-through rates, yeah, that's my answer.
What you said, Dante, exactly. No, really.
And what they said,
For me, it's organization of my inventory. At the moment, as a lot of you know, we're in quite a small place. We're in a 1,400 square foot condo. We've just recently bought a house. We're really excited. It's about twice as big. So now I'm going to be able to take things out of things wrapped in paper in totes and actually be able to have them out on shelves and not have stacks in my living room ceiling to the ceiling, but, you know, more organized. So for me, it's definitely inventory organization.
Mine would probably be almost like kind of what Dante said, is that I still struggle with stuff to pick up. Like I know I have like the stuff that I always go to, but make a couple of YouTube videos you out going around and you just realize that so many more people are like, hey, you missed this, this, and this, and there's so much more to learn about it. And some stuff that I know not to pick up for some reason, I still will pick up, like a pair of shoes that need way too much cleaning. So I should just have the discipline to keep that down there and not pick it up.
Thanks.
Yeah, and my discipline needs to come in lots. I love buying lots of stuff, even if it's like $3 and $5 profit. I see Jake like edging in there. It's okay if he wants to. We don't mind. Hi, Jake. So I pick up lots. I'm a sucker for lots and bots, and then I end up with a lot of stuff I don't need. So, which really boils down to like Tay saying know what to pick up. I just need to know what to like say no to and walk away. And I think knowing what you'll list, because some things you're probably going to like listing better than others, and then that stuff you don't like to list gets sat behind. So I would say that as well.
Thanks.
Look, listen, you see Duncan knows, so he just gets his questions in the beginning, so he makes sure they get answered. How would someone new successfully make reselling a full-time business? And what do you think some do's and don'ts when becoming full-time?
Wow, that's a great question, actually. So honestly, the best way to answer that, if you want to be successful as a full-timer, like you're gonna have to give it your all, man. You can't go into it thinking that you quit your 9 to 5, thinking that you're about to come into something easier. You need to think of it as like you quit your 9 to 5 and you're about to like spend so many more hours into this business. Like reselling is freedom. Reselling is a lot of things, but reselling it's hard work, man. Like I said, just learning the process of becoming a reseller. Like I've been doing this for 4 years now. I still don't know everything. I'm still learning every single day. And when you take that step as a full-time reseller, like your work ethic is going to really come out and it's going to show. I think that's going to be like the number one thing that you need to really, which is going to make you successful, along with the knowledge that you need to gain. I mean, you need to be soaking up as much knowledge as you can if you are a beginner, you know. I think that's really, really important. And the top do's and don'ts I want to say when it comes becoming a full-time reseller, become your own full-time reseller. Don't go by anybody else's profit margins but your own. You know the cost of living for you. You know what it takes for you to survive. You know all of that. So you need to go be sourcing for your numbers, if that makes sense. Like, you know, I can leave some things behind where somebody in California probably can't because their profit margins are so crazy. You know, it's cost them $1,200 or actually $3,000 in the mortgage, where over here it only cost me like $700 something. So just like your numbers, you need to figure that out for yourself. Don't go by anybody else's numbers.
Yeah.
I would say definitely make sure that you have enough money for at least 6 months of your living expenses before you even consider going full time. Because if you just quit your job and expect that your reselling is going to replace that, you know, you might be in for an unpleasant surprise. So it is, like Dante said, a lot of work. It's more than a 9 to 5. It's sometimes 15 to 20 hour days, honestly. Once you've done the listing and the pictures and the shipping and the questions and the feedback, it's overwhelming. It really is, especially if you're going to add a YouTube channel to it. Just honestly, make sure you're prepared for the work. Make sure you have a huge cushion of money in the bank. That's what I would say.
Yes.
I'll just add on to what they said because both of those were like super good answers. I would say that set yourself up for success. So if you have like a big thing about, I don't know how to do my own taxes, do that research first, figure out what, like, you know, if you're going to use an accountant, figure all that stuff out before you go full time. So when you go full time, it's not like a big shock. Also, if you're doing it part-time, go ahead and start building your inventory up. So if you do leap to the full-time, you already have that store that's cranking out some sort of money where you just don't like quit your job one day, then start selling on eBay the next day. That's not going to really work out too well. So always set yourself up for success. And what Dante said about work ethic, that will come out real fast. If you want to lay in bed until 9 o'clock or you're up at, you know, doing something, you know, you got to get a certain store at a certain time or the yard sale at, you know, 5 o'clock in the morning. And, Dante has said a lot about the do's and don'ts. I would say, and just add on to what he said, don't get, and he's talking about profit margins. Don't look on Instagram for your profit margins. Like, you're going to see a ton of people. Don't get wrapped up in that, because that's what I did. I was like, wow, that person made like $180,000 in 3 months. That's amazing. I could do that. You don't know what they're selling, and you don't know what their profit margins is. So just make sure you're doing you, and your books are, you know, what you can afford and stuff.
Yeah, I would agree too. And that's what one of the, like, I'm not comfortable totally leaving my day job of nursing because I need benefits. So if you're like a sole provider, you have to think about your benefits. Same thing. I would say have that income saved up before you leap. And I would personally, I want to see that I have that income coming in to support my bills before I would walk away from a full-time job, which might mean busting your butt double time, which is what I did to be able to go part-time. And the work ethic, definitely, if you don't work, you're not going to make money. So you have to be very, very self-motivated to actually do stuff. I'm going to disagree with Julian because I sleep in and I still but I stay up. I stay up till like 1 a.m.
What time do you stay up? Yeah, see, I'm in bed by, you know, like 10.
So he gets up early and goes all the places, and I get most of mine on online auctions, so I can sleep in when I want. But I still get a lot done. So you have to do that. And as far as the dues, one of the big things for me as I've transitioned to needing more of the money is I put all of my money back in reinvesting to build my business for so long. Right. I wasn't used to paying myself, and I'm like, oh, I got all this, I can go make a big buy. But now I have to figure out a percent and pay myself regardless. Because if you're doing it as just a side hustle and vacation money or fun money, whatever, you aren't used to having to pay yourself. So you do whatever and then you reinvest. But once you rely on that income, you have to figure out a percent or a method of making sure you pay yourself before you're buying more merchandise, which gets into the whole profit margin thing too. Some of those numbers, and I mean, mine included, you don't know like what they paid, how much shipping is. I have a friend who sold over 2 million on Amazon last year, but he runs a 10% profit margin, you know? So when you see, oh, $2 million, you're thinking a lot more money than 10%, which is still good money, mind you. It's still good money, but you got to think some people run on really low profit margins, so their numbers might look high when they're not.
Oh, and Kat, right. you just made a good point. And I want to add on to that. Like, please do not mix your personal and your business together. Yes. Like, as a full-time reseller, create those separate accounts. And please, like she said, that's an excellent idea. Like, I pay myself every single week a certain amount of money, and that's what I use for my personal expenses. And personal expenses are personal expenses. I do not dip in my business account just because I want this shiny new toy. We can't do that. So yeah, just definitely keep those accounts separate at all times.
Yeah, I would say keep them separate, even if you're part-time, guys. That'll make it easier on your taxes. So you'll know how much money you spent to buy and what's coming in, even if you're only doing it part-time. Look, okay, I'm going to read this, but at first I'm going to highlight. Richard says that Duncan is like at the max of his questions. Both Richard and Duncan help me on my Death Pile Destruction Facebook group. They're both moderators there and help me a lot. Duncan helps all of us a lot. He puts up the challenges in our Death Pile Destruction group on Facebook. And that's what this is regarding. If you have a death pile, what are the best ways to organize inventory and get stuff out the door? He says he knows the answer. He wants to see what we have to say.
So for me personally, I don't have a death pile. So the best way I organize that is because I literally like people go, okay, I'm different though. So I don't order bulk buys. So that I'm different, where if you order in bulk buys, you may have a death pile. So normally I go sourcing and I'm getting 20 or 30 items per day, and I'm making sure that I list as I source. Or I'll have a day where I'll just sit there and I will literally source. Or if I see my death pile, which can be like 30 items for me, that's my death pile. If it's getting out of hand, I'm going to have a day where I don't do nothing else but list every single item in that death pile. Because I know every single person up here who has a death pile can admit to this. They've had items sitting in that death pile. As soon as they listed it, probably like 4 or 5 months later, it's sold. So you're just having money that's just sitting and it's just being a waste. So that's just my personal experience. And obviously, I know, like I said, every situation is different.
My advice would be to make the death pile a profit pile, sort it into manageable categories, sort it into the items that you know you'll get to, you know you want to sell and you will sell. And the next category should be wholesale lots, lots of items that you can just sell and get rid of. And then the third would be items that you know you don't want to deal with and just redonate them. Now, Kat has a good strategy, which I really like. I learned from her. Put your listing items in manageable boxes, like a file box, and then list a file box of items every day. So it's not overwhelming. It's not a death pile. It's a profit pile. Danny, the niche lady, my friend, taught me that. It's just changing the way you look at things as well. You know, if you see it as money sitting there, you're more liable to list it quickly.
Yeah, if I'm looking at a big pile of stuff that I have bought, I'm going to immediately split it up into certain groups. Like, but I'm going to do like items like golf clubs, tools, shoes, because all that's going to be different when I list it. And then I'm going to split it up in a whole bunch of groups, and then I'm going to stop sourcing. And then I'm going to take days and days and just get it done. That's the only thing that's going to get that to go away. And I do like the idea of, if you know don't want to list it, or it's not worth the time, or you did the bad, just get it. Don't be in love with it. Just get it gone. Just go redonate it.
I really need to go through. I've moved through a lot. I've moved through close to half of mine. But my big thing is buying the auction buys. Like, I actually tomorrow I'm going to pick up $3,200 worth of stuff. So, but I will say over half of that is $2,000-$3,000 pieces, Capodimonte pieces. That's the majority of that buy. So but my plan is to get them in, list them, and then get them out. I have somebody that comes and helps me. And it's funny, today he was in my inventory shed and I'm like, just organize it, because they're in their little spaces, but they're on shelves. So I'm like, if you can stack it, just, I need more room. And me and my husband walked in there to pull today, and I'm like, what happened? Because it's really organized and it's really clean in my shed now, where before it was like, it was like something blew up in there. So for me, and that's why I started the group, it's really hard. And like this auction buy, I should not have bought. So I'm going to try again to stop. I did good for about 6 weeks not buying and just listing from my pile, but we've made it through probably close to half. But you have to figure, I buy like a whole, it's like buying storage lockers when I buy auctions. I'm getting like 300 or 400 items at a time. Tomorrow's about 80. So for me, that's probably like 2 or 3 days of listing realistically. So I'm going to try and have it listed by the end of next week. But yeah, Duncan, you're in the death pile destruction group. So you got to have some kind of death pile, buddy. We can't let Dante in. No, I'm just kidding. If you want to. Dante can come set the example for the rest of us.
List. Don't do nothing.
What are you doing?
List.
Why do you have a pile? Duncan didn't listen to Richard. He has another question. What is something to do to get more sales apart from listing more?
Get more sales apart from listing?
Besides listing more, what could you do to get more sales?
Go through your store and adjust all the prices that's in your store currently. Like, I'm pretty sure you have some items in your store that's been sitting for a hot little second. And if they are, you can just always go through, make sure those listings are correct, check and sure you got they're in the right category. Because I have been an idiot. I've had a DVD, literally it said CD, but it wasn't it wasn't a DVD. It was one of the things Cincinnati Pickers always buys. Records. It was a record instead of a CD. So just small things like that, just going back and just sending offers out to buyers, just small things like that, just maintenance of your eBay store.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, definitely send offers to buyers. And one thing I do is just go through and make sure all my pictures are really, really good, because that's the first impression that people get when they're searching for something and they're looking at a list of results. The picture is what can make you stand apart from all your competition. And like Dante said, make sure your titles are good. Make sure that when you're creating your title, ask yourself, how would I look for this item on eBay? And that's how you want to phrase your title, because the algorithm's changed. It used to look for keywords. Now it looks for key phrases. So think to yourself, if I was looking for this widget, how would I describe it? And that's how you want to word your title.
I would. I always do sales when sales are slow. I always put on a decent sale for 3 days, and then that's usually my max. And then I have been promoting at 5%, 6%, somewhere around there. And I see an uptrend in sales from doing that. And I did go through some of my store and realized some of my stuff was way overpriced when I first bought it, thinking that I was going to get like a ton of money for it. Like Dante just said, I was like, there's no way I'm getting $45 for that thing. And really, the real price was like $15. Put on for $15, I sold almost immediately. So, yeah, store maintenance is very important too.
I don't think I have really anything to add. I'm a big fan of sending offers. I send those all the time. I promote and I do sales now, and I do my monthly store reviews, and titles are a big thing. If you have room for those keywords, use them. I see short titles and I'm like, no, it's like valuable real estate. If you can, like tonight I listed an ashtray, but somebody might use it as a trinket dish. So I put both in my title if there's room, because people might not necessarily be looking for an ashtray, but it's pretty and they could use it as a trinket dish too. So think of what people could use your item for as well, like multiple uses if you have more room. Miss Anita, this is not a question. She just said she's glad to see Dante here, and congrats. That. Yes, definitely. I have told you congrats before, but definitely congrats to Tay and Katie. They have a baby on the way. I think Tammy's asking she's asking about running her store, but she said she's going in the hospital. So I think she's asking more like, should she put it on like vacation mode, or how should she handle that?
Where do you go? It just depends on what you're going for surgery for. If it's something that you can't like manage your store, if you can't get somebody to help you run your store, then just go ahead and put that bad boy on vacation mode and just wait until you're in a better place to be able to continue offering good service. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to have bad service while you're store. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's all about, customer service. Are you going to be able to provide enough customer service to keep your store afloat? That's what you want to think about first.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would say, because you don't want the stress of having to run your eBay store while you're trying to recover from surgery either. You have to think about yourself. You want to be able to heal fast with no stress. But like Dante said, it's absolutely essential that you keep your good service going, and you don't want to have bad reviews just because you tried to do too much. If it's a minor surgery, like an outpatient patient that you're going to recover quickly from, maybe just give yourself some extra handling time. Extend your handling time from a couple of days to maybe, a week or 10 days, and see how that goes. And if it's not manageable, then, you can still go ahead and put your store on vacation.
I got nothing to add to that.
They're answering so good. Julian and I are gonna have to not.
Yes, what they said. That was.
Yeah, I agree, and I'd see if your family can help Tammy. So if you know that they could help pull and pack, then you could leave it, and I wouldn't worry about listing while you're recovering. At least then, if they can pull them back. If not, if like they said, same thing. They already said it. I'm not going to repeat it. They already said it. Flipping to feed our family. What have we found? And I don't know who sells on Mercari besides myself. I think Julian does too. But he's asking what's the best way to handle multi-quantity Mercari listings. I can't seem to find a quantity option. Buyers have sent messages concerned I'd relisted an item after they purchased it.
Yeah, I have that same problem with Mercari. I used to have multi-quantity items. Now you have to just relist that same item over and over and over. I can't answer that question.
Yeah, I don't sell on Mercari anymore. I don't.
I have no idea.
There is no quantity on Mercari. Mercari is the only platform that I use without it. Facebook has a quantity. Poshmark has a quantity. Mercari does not.
It's
so
wild.
I would just, you would think they would, because they've kind of gotten away from the only at home. When they first started, they only wanted they didn't want the resellers on there. They were very reseller unfriendly at the very beginning of Mercari. But I would just make sure you tell them, hey, I have multiple. That's why it's up again. And they should be fine. And Mercari's pretty good. If you ship the right item, they're not going to say anything. But they won't let you. I don't think you can list two of the same thing as separate listings at once. Miss Margaret, I believe she means at the post office. She's saying her eBay sale doesn't it get recorded, and if it doesn't, if it doesn't get scanned when you drop it off. I think that's what she means. What do you do?
I'm sorry. I have to repeat. Okay, I'm trying to one more time.
If they don't scan it at the post office, which I mean, really, there's nothing you can do because that's kind of out of your control.
What Kat said.
But you could wait for a receipt. We wait for a receipt, which yesterday I brought 70 boxes into the post office. We had a very busy weekend, so it took a big cart, and I don't go to the post office. I will say that my husband brings everything, but he said he got the biggest cart our post office had, and then he went in and said, I need another, and the guy thought he was kidding, because that's the first time it barely fit in our expedition to go to the post office. But if you wait and get it scanned, if not, and I think Julian talked about this, some places it might not show up to the next destination. Didn't we talk about that before? It doesn't show up till the second scan.
I actually moved my handling time. I ship every day, but I moved it to 3 days because I know that and I don't wait in line. I just drop it off and leave. And I know that they don't scan when it's that busy. They got tons of stuff going on. And my scans all come from Colombia. So that's where it first gets scanned. So it usually takes a day to get out there. So I covered myself because I learned that last year.
Oh.
Colombia does
anything to add?
Most of it's lost out there, but they definitely scan a lot of things.
I was going to add that our Las Vegas post office is excellent. They're really, really good. But sometimes it doesn't show. It'll show, nothing, and then all of a sudden it's delivered. So I don't stress out usually. I just give it some time. But that is really good advice. During the holidays, extend your handling time by a couple of days just to give yourself a buffer.
Yes, for sure. I am going to highlight this, guys. I have asked both Mark and Richard to drop the Red Cross. This is the number to text to make a donation for the tornado victims, as well as the Western Kentucky Relief Fund. If you are able, please donate. Those guys have lost everything and can use anything we can help them with. So the guys will be dropping both of those links throughout the show. I saw it, thought I would highlight it, and definitely anything we can do to help them. I cannot imagine. I can't begin to imagine what they're going through. So if you guys can help them out.
And if somebody donates during the show, I will send them my merch.
Oh, look at that. Dante is giving you guys some motivation to help. That's awesome. Susie Hopper wants to know, do you sell on multiple platforms and only one? And can you say why you do what you do?
Okay. Yeah, I sell on multiple platforms. I sell on eBay and Amazon, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace a little bit. I sell on multiple platforms because I try to take advantage of every platform that's out there for the most part. I believe certain items can go on certain platforms. So if I have like heavier items, most of those go on like Facebook Marketplace. I believe like video games, harder items. Okay, put it this way: if they don't sell on eBay, they will definitely sell on Mercari. I don't know why. It just seems
That's true.
it just seems to happen like that. So I definitely believe in cross listing. I used to sell on Poshmark all the time, but I just believe that's like just for clothes and that all the sharing. I ain't got time. That's social media. I don't want to. I get tired of sharing. I make a hire VAs for all that, but I just choose not to. While I do what I do, I think that kind of covers everything. Oh, Amazon and eBay, I sell on those two platforms because they are the biggest platforms out there. Amazon, they are pretty much taking over the world. So I definitely make sure I have my feet wet in that just a little bit, just because you want to be on the platforms that are making the most money, and that are getting your items the most views. And I think that's the most important thing. Like, I know a lot of people, we complain about the fees and everything like that. So why I do what I do is because they are giving us the most eyes ever. Like Walmart wish they had the views that some of us we get on eBay, So that's pretty much it.
That was a great answer. It's similar for me. I sell on eBay, on Amazon, on Poshmark, on OfferUp, and Facebook Marketplace locally. And exactly, it just depends on what you're selling. eBay and Amazon obviously have the biggest market. They're just worldwide. There's so many eyes. So the bulk of my items are upon eBay. I like to use Poshmarks for items that aren't necessarily very high value, but they're a little bit heavier, because Poshmark has the buyer pay a flat rate for up to a £5 package. So if you've got something like bookends that are maybe £4 and the shipping would be prohibitive on eBay, you can pop them up on Poshmark and the buyer only has to pay, I think it's $7 to buy the bookends. So that's a win-win for me and for the buyer. And then, like Dante said, locally, big items, items that don't make sense to ship, or even wholesale lots that your death pile, you don't want to deal with, want to get rid of it. That's an excellent place to sell locally.
I sell on eBay and Mercari, and everything goes on eBay. Certain items go on Mercari. A lot of golf clubs will sell on Mercari pretty fast. And local sales, I don't ship on Facebook Marketplace. I've done it a couple of times, but I usually utilize that for, like you just said, like wholesale lots that I have bought a whole bunch of stuff from an auction, and I need to basically just get it out of here for a really cheap price. I did that recently, and also very large items. I live in at the beach. So sometimes I get a really good deal on like a kayak or something. I'm going to pick that up at a yard sale for like $50 and then come back, clean it, and then flip it for like 200 or whatnot. Also, trailers go pretty cheap around here.
I don't do local. I might revisit it at some point, but I haven't done local in forever. I sell on eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, and Facebook. I did Amazon. I know how to do Amazon, but I haven't in a while. Just because I found it easier to focus on eBay, and the stuff I like to pick up is more like eBay type stuff. It's not like, I don't pick up new stuff a lot. And I do it because you can reach more audience, and it's crazy the things that like sit on eBay for months and then you put them on Mercari or Facebook and they sell in a day. So I have almost 3,800 listings, and they are all on all 4 platforms. So I put everything, and like Tay, I use like a service that like you click one button and it shares, because I don't have time for the sharing stuff either. Yeah. All right. I think Tay might be the only person that will do this. I cannot bring myself to sing happy birthday, but it is Sandy's birthday. She is one of my channel members. So happy birthday. I'm glad you're celebrating. Hey, will you sing happy birthday? I put him on the spot. Will you sing happy birthday?
Which version? Do we want the funky version or the regular version?
Whatever version you want, because I'm too chicken to do it. You can sing whatever you want.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. There you go. Happy birthday, Sandy.
That's pretty good.
I knew he would do it. That's why I asked him. Thank you, Tay.
Happy birthday, Sandy.
Yes. Holly's got a question, and I'm interested to see how everybody answers this because I think we might answer it different. If her listing says it ships priority, but once sold, I discover UPS is cheaper. Can I ship it that way? Not sure what happens if I switch shipping methods.
It's going first class all day. Okay, so to prevent this, a lot of people, we don't weigh and do all this as we're listing. A lot of people just like list and skip the going to the delivery part and adjusting the delivery. And this is why that problem happens a lot of the time. But if it happens, don't fret. You can ship it out first class. I have been doing that literally and since I've been on eBay, and I have never gotten a complaint. And then let's say if you are scared, right? And to avoid this, I'm just like Julian. I have 3 business days on my shipping. So let's say if somebody buy something from me on a Monday and I know I don't have to ship it out until Wednesday, but this instant right here happens where it's priority. Guess what? If I ship it out that Monday, it's going to get to them before the priority day happens anyway. So they won't complain. So that's just my answer. But I would ship it out regardless. I always go to the cheapest method. Always. UPS. Yeah, always.
I don't. If my listing says priority, I'm going to ship it priority. Just because it's not worth it to me. Priorities between 1 and 3 day delivery, and UPS is generally between 3 and 8 days, and it makes a difference. And you only need a 3% ding rate, which is, something you've done wrong, to take your seller status down from top rated seller to next rated. So for me, I'm chicken. It's not worth it for me. If I said priority, I'm just gonna eat it and send it priority.
I'm switching it. I'm going UPS. I'm going FedEx. As long as there's not like a huge discrepancy in time. If like,
Right.
I'm saying like a day off or something, I can deal with. Because I've already got, like Dante said, I got 3-day shipping, but I'm shipping it the next day. So it's gonna be there before they know it anyway. But now I'm gonna go ahead and a lot of times if it's a big difference, like it's an oversized package, I'll even give them $10 or $15 back, and they can't complain about that. They got money back.
Right. And I switch as well. But this is why I like to have the panel show, because we all have differing opinions. I check the day, like if it's going to get there within like when I guaranteed it by first. And like Julian said, if it's a big difference, and some of my items are big and heavy, it might be like a $40 difference, but FedEx or UPS gives me more of a discount than USPS on eBay, I might switch it. And I sometimes will message them. I do not always. I don't want to lie to you guys. I do not always. But most of the stuff with doing calculated, I'm covered. So if it's a matter of if I see it cheaper, but as long as they paid enough, I'm going to ship priority, I guess is my main answer. But if for some reason I was off and it's a lot more, then I would switch it if I had to. So sometimes not. Sammy wants to know, what's your best pick based strictly on gut versus knowledge?
Oh wow, that's an excellent question. My best pick based on gut, man. Okay, so it would probably take me forever to think about this, because I mean I do pick up things on gut, but I'm a believer in, like, you need to check sales comps, man, or you need to pick, like, yeah, you need to check sales comps, man. I can't preach anything opposite than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to check sales comps. I mean, obviously okay, here's what I would say. There has been items. Matter of fact, I just sold recently a Betty Boop waffle maker, that I checked the comps and there were no sale comps. There was one person selling one for a ridiculous amount of price, maybe like 70 something bucks, but there was no comps. But to me, the item, it's Betty Boop. Like, who don't like Betty Boop? A vintage item, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't make these waffle makers no more. So I went ahead and purchased that item. Granted, the item was only $6, but I picked that up on gut, you know what I'm saying? But I can't say that was just strictly gut, because I had knowledge knowing that certain buyers like rare vintage items, and I also had the knowledge that the item may sit for a while. So I don't know. I'll have to pass.
All that.
Mine would have to be a Harley Davidson leather jacket, and it was rough. It was in rough shape. It was really old, really vintage. The leather was crispy and cracked and crusty, but my gut said it's Harley Davidson and it's old. And it was a yard sale, and they wanted $60 for it. But this thing ended up selling for over $600. So
Wow.
it was a good decision.
Mine would be hands down that time I picked up N scale trains. I didn't even know like what the scales were. I didn't know trains had different scales. I knew nothing about trains. It was at a yard sale, and there was a big box, and there's a nice couple there. We were talking conversation, and they were first one at like 175, and it was later in the day, so they were down to 100. And I was like, I don't know nothing. I'll give you $50 for them all. And there was a ton of trains in this thing, all new in the pack, and some were new, some were you. And they were like, yeah, we'll take 50. And I made probably $1,500 off of that. Yeah, I was just like, I don't know nothing about it, but one of them things has got to be worth it at least. I mean, if I'm looking at it like $1 a piece, I'm in the good. That's how I kind of guessed that. I was way wrong on price though.
I remember when you got those
100.
trains.
Yeah.
You made a lot of money.
Tons.
Train. I remember that. For me, I think it's like the vintage linens and stuff I started picking up, because I'm just like, I appreciate the time people put into them. They look nice. They're vintage. And there are no comps, because most of them, they're one of a kind. You're not going to find another one. So that stuff is like, you can look up similar, but you have to know. I think my big thing with like my gut pickups is that I know how I'm going to keyword it. Like if it has a bird on it or flowers on it, and is it retro? So that's for me. Knowledge wise, like my $3,000 sale last week, by far my biggest sale ever. And that was thanks to being able to research on WorthPoint and knowing like this item has sold for $3,000 over 20 times, in the past. It's actually 15 years. I learned today. So I went to lunch with Dana, the affiliate director of WorthPoint today, and she gave me $100 in cash. I'm going to post a picture. I won a contest they had, and she gave me cash. So it was a great day. She took me to lunch and gave me cash. But it's 15 years WorthPoint stores, not 10 years. And I find a ton of stuff that isn't on eBay, so I use it a lot. But that's where I wouldn't make a gut purchase of $700, which is how much I paid for it. I'm not going to make a gut purchase on that. But when I can see the history and have the knowledge of it, then I'm good picking it up. All right. Ashley wants to know, how do I pack my small jewelry items? Jewelry box and poly mailer. That is exactly how I put them in my little like gold jewelry boxes from Amazon, or I keep and reuse. Like this is an old one with writing. I'm not against reusing jewelry boxes, or if I see them at yard sales or something. And then I put them into a poly mailer, unless if it's a $50 or more piece of jewelry, it's going to go in a jewelry box and in a 4x4 box. If it's over $50, I don't put it into a poly mailer. I put it into a box. Melinda, I see your comment. Thank you very much. Margaret, her question was, and Miss Margaret, I don't know if you're printing from eBay, because if you're printing from eBay, then the tracking number is automatically uploaded, and you're going to save like 30% on your shipping fees. So if you're not printing your postage from eBay, I would start doing that. And if the tracking number did not print with USPS, then you have no way to enter it. So that's, again, another reason to print from eBay. And if you're just going to the post office, I would ask them if they could I'm sure there's a way the postal employees could pull up their transaction history and reprint a receipt for you. Right? I think. Anyone? There's no other way, though, I don't think. But if you mean like for somebody that's saying they didn't receive their item, eBay for some reason makes you go put the tracking number back in again. So you can just go to that transaction and copy it and paste it back into eBay. Why? They already have it, but they make you do it again. Krause House, Sift and Thrift. How do you prioritize your eBay store and YouTube? Which is more important or takes precedence?
Ooh, good question. So eBay, takes precedence for me. It has to. I mean, that's what makes my money. I mean, if I've recently put out a video about how much I made this year on YouTube, I've only made $6,000 on YouTube. That doesn't pay the bills. You break that down, it's like $500 something a month. For me, that's not enough. So you have to prioritize eBay first. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's probably 50-50. I put a lot of work in both of them, but at the same time, like like eBay, definitely it should be the priority for anybody even thinking about this, or you know what I'm saying? Like it should definitely be the priority.
I have a schedule. I try to touch eBay every single day. I try to list at least 2 items a day, change some prices, make sure my titles are good. And then I turn to focusing on my YouTube channel, sourcing, filming, editing. It takes way longer than you would even imagine. Well, at least for me. So it's important to just divide your time and, make sure you're touching everything if you have an eBay store and a YouTube channel.
Yeah, eBay would take precedence over YouTube any day because I make, that's where I make my money is on eBay. I did this a video a day for 24 days. It's a horrible idea. Horrible. eBay is suffering greatly, but I already, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to get it done. And it is what it is. But eBay would be, I probably do, like Dante said, I probably do 50-50, but I probably should do more like 70-30. Like 70 eBay, 30% YouTube, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And I just announced yesterday, I'm going down to 3 videos a week because I want to focus more on eBay. And I make a decent amount off of YouTube. I don't want to say I don't, but it's not as much as I make on eBay. I have 15,000 in sales this month. And I just feel like it probably takes 3 to 4 hours for a video at least. And the amount of items I could sell and list in that time is way more than what I am getting. So I'm hoping I can maybe put a little more effort into my editing and make those 3 videos better versus doing videos every day. And it'll take some like stress off of me. I also wanted to say, Richard told me I cannot see. So I'm only at 8:07. I'm 40 minutes behind in the chat. I don't watch the current chat. So Richard let me know John Cincinnati Picker was in the house. So I want to say hi to John. He's a great guy. I met him and Tay in Cincinnati this year. And then I met Julian on my way up to Cincinnati. Oh, no, my way to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania, yeah.
Yeah, I've been all over the country this year, which has been absolutely amazing to meet YouTube friends. So it's been great. So, John, thank you for stopping by. So Miss Susie asked me this question in my comments earlier. Which I will repeat my answer again, but I'm interested in seeing everybody else's. So she wants to know, like, can you discuss selling strategies? So for example, do you have a certain price point that you have to have when you're deciding what to buy? She has no help, so she wants $35 plus for a profit mark. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, if that's what you want, then I can't argue with that. That's what you want. I go back to what I said earlier about you have to make this business work for you. But as for me personally, I look at a lot of things like percentages more than I look at like dollar amounts. So if I'm out there and I'm spending a certain amount of dollar, if an item catches my eye, it may be a $3 item. And if it brings me like 500%, I'm probably going to pick up that item just because, it's not a lot of money to a lot of people, that little $4 or $5 profit after fees and everything like that. But it's the percentage that caught my eye, depending on the item, the sell-through rate on the item. So all that really matters to me. And I think it goes back to the strategy where I used to be a server. So I used to work in the restaurants where sometimes all I would get is $2 and $3 tips. But, often you're a good server, you're going to get them $5 and $10 tips. But at the end of the night, if you take all those $10 tips to the side and them $35 tips to the side, yeah, it may be $100. But then when you go back and you look at those $1 and $2 and $3 tips that you were getting all night long, that turns out to be another $75 that you got. And it blows your mind after you realize those $1 and $2 and $3 sales that half the resellers out there, because I know so many resellers who refuse to even touch a $5 profit. And that's wonderful for me. But it just goes all back down to your strategy.
Exactly right, Dante. It just depends on how quickly something is going to sell and what it is really. I like to make a $20 profit on the items I pick. But say there's a box of the same item and they're only going to make me $10. I'm going to pick those up because with a box of the same thing, you only have to list the items one time and do it as a multiple listing. So you're doing one listing, but you've got 10 quantity. So you're still making the money for the same amount of work. I also consider, if I like the item, if it's going to be a fun list for me, I'm going to pick it up and list it just because I want to have it for a while. I want to, look at it and have it while it's in the process of selling. That's a variable for me. And also I've learned to know what my YouTube subscribers want to see. They like to see me picking up certain things. They like glass, they like pottery, they like certain things. So I know if I pick up those things, they're going to want to buy from me directly. So that's a factor for me. And if $35 works for you, and if you're still selling through at that profit mark, then that's awesome. If you're not selling as much as you would like, maybe come down a bit, maybe throw in a few less expensive items that you really like and that you enjoy listing, just to see if that helps your sales.
Yeah, I'll definitely sell. My strategy is I'll sell anything kind of like with the percentage thing. If I can pick up a socket for a cent, like literally 1 penny, because I bought a whole bunch of them, and they list easy, they photographed easy, very little cleaning usually on them, and they ship easy, and you list them for $8, that's pretty big. That profit's huge there. 1 penny into $8. So my strategy is more of a percentage thing too. So I don't have like, I won't pick it up because it won't be worth $20 or $30 or $40. I will pick anything up if I can make a certain percentage on that. And that percentage would be, because you have to factor in a lot, like cleaning time, photographing time, shipping time, all that's got to be factored into that one product that you're looking at.
Yeah, and I think everybody that watches me knows I sell $3 and $5 profit items all the time. But the big thing I would say to you is, can you consistently find $35 profit items? I wish I could find those all the time, but the reality of where I live is that I can't. So I'm going to pick up what I can find. And if it's $1 into 10 or 15, that's 10 to 15 times my money. And it's easy to list and easy to ship. I'm not gonna turn it down. And I did that. And I know, like Susie had commented, I have help now. And I didn't, though. The first 2 years I was building my store, it was really just me. And now my niece lists a few days a week for me, and my mom cross posts. But even without help, typically, and this was my answer, like if I have a $10 profit item, it's probably going to take me less than 10 minutes to list it, photograph, and ship it. So that means I can do 6 in an hour, and that's $60 profit in an hour. So I kind of look at it like that. I can list really fast. Like DVDs, I can list 30 in an hour. So if I make $3 a piece, that's $90, and shipping is throwing them into a padded poly mailer. It's nothing. So that's how I look at it. And like, I can't find it. I can find it on high bid, but then I have to drive. Like tomorrow I'm driving 3 hours there, 3 hours back, which is hard. And then I feel like I have to buy a ton to make it worth the drive. And then I end up with 5 million items, and here I am, yeah. This is a good question. Susanna's Chronicles, what motivates you?
Wow. Just for the sake of not getting into like one of those deep conversations, I'm just gonna say, like, everybody who said I would never be anything, and I'll just pretty much go there. This as an ex-con, even walking out the door to prison, the commissary lady told me I'd be back and I wouldn't be anything. You know what I'm saying? She's like, just prejudged me. So my motivation is just, now I'm about to have a baby. Yeah, that motivation is about to be something totally different. But like in the past, it's just been like just showing people, like, people don't define you at all. People don't let nobody define you. Like, you can define yourself. So that's pretty much my motivation.
My motivation is I love what I do. I was a paralegal for years. I was in sales for years, stuck in a cubicle in an office. And honestly, I hated it. This job, not really a job, what I do, I love what I do, allows me freedom to be with my children. It allows me the freedom to be with my husband. He's a paramedic, so he works 3 and 4 12-hour shifts. I can be with him on his off days. I can take a trip and see my parents in California when I want to. It's amazing. It's the best risk I ever took.
Oh,
That was a good answer.
it was.
Mine's pretty easy. Mine is just I love having the freedom of this. It is. I was in a career for 10 years that had zero freedom. They called you, you had to go in. There was no like, oh, I don't want to come in today. You had to go into work, and there was zero freedom there. Zero. Like days off were canceled. Type of like you didn't have no freedom. So this is just it is. It's like I laugh sometimes when I talk to Kayla. I'm like, my job today, and I laugh at it because it's like this is I love what I do. So it's kind of hard to call it a job. I mean, it is. It's hard work. Don't get me wrong. But when you really like it and really enjoy it, it does make the days go by really fast. I wish I had some of those hours back. They go by so fast.
And it doesn't feel like work. That's
No,
the
it
big
really
thing with
doesn't.
all of this. Like, I love the treasure hunt. I might not like the listing so much. I don't mind shipping, but I love it. And I'm going to highlight this comment because it comes at a funny time. So Miss Theny, this is Athena, said that Jake looks like an 8-year-old Dalton. And Dalton is my motivation. That's why I put this comment up. I said it last week. I lost 3 babies before him. I want to spend all the time that I can with him. And that's why he loves going sourcing. And he tells me no sometimes and he stays home. But earlier he told me, Mom, I have a big business. And I'm like, what? He's like, I'm going to go to my business. I'm like, okay. So he loves it. He loves being on camera. He loves coming out to the shed, and he gets mad if I don't want to come out to the shed. So he is my motivation for pushing. And I went from working 4 12 hours to now I only work 2 12 hours a week. And hopefully within a year or two, I'll be able to just do this. That is my goal. But I have to have that money in the bank that I don't have and have insurance lined up and all of that stuff. Also, I'm going to highlight this comment. Golden State Picker Mike is in the house. He is going to be on next week again, along with American Arbitrage Carrie. And we had an excellent show last time those gentlemen were on. They're going to be on again next week. All right, Miss Betty. On eBay, do we have to have shipping policies? Creating them is causing me confusion. I don't understand the process. If I get it right, it is luck. It's an accident. So do you have shipping policies?
No. As in, like, no. I mean, just
there are
international shipping.
Policies, yeah.
I mean, we're talking about like international shipping on certain
standards.
I
think there's shipping policies. I'm gonna skip an answer first. I don't use them because I'm scared I will set them up wrong. So I stay far away from eBay shipping policies.
I'm the same way. I don't use
default. Them. That's what I use.
Default. Yes. Do you use them, Tiffany?
I don't know what they are. I don't mess with them.
So probably not. So I say, no. From what I have heard, I say stay away from it. T Peddler, Dante's story is in some videos on his channel. I have watched them. So if you go search on his channel, he does have his story up there in videos that you can go watch. And I know Mark and Richard are both dropping links to Dante and Miss Tiffany's channels if you guys aren't subscribed. But Tay has his story out there. Miss Margaret, do you add a tracking number? So if you ship through eBay, you don't have to add the tracking number. But if you ship it at the post office, then you would need to add the tracking number. For sure. Miss Hillary, how do you ship for a reasonable amount?
I personally, I only use eBay. I'm not a type. I don't use anything outside of eBay. So I don't use like pirate ship or anything like that.
But you get like a 30% discount on shipping when you print from eBay. So make sure you guys know that. Again, print from I'm a big I use eBay because it's convenient. I can put all my labels there, print them all out, and that's what I do.
Yeah, me too.
I actually use Pirate Ship for the reason that I can charge my shipping labels to a credit card and get the points.
No, and that's a good reason. That's what I'm saying. That's why I like having people on, because there's that makes sense. So you're getting, points or cash back by charging it to, is it what I haven't figured out with Pirate Ship is like, you have to like click into each one though to change the weight, right? You can't pull it up on all one page and change the weight if needed.
I'm very OCD, so I do them one by one just to make sure they're perfect. And that you import them one by one. You just pull up the one you want, you check the weight, you check everything, and then you can actually I think you can, now that I think about it, you can pull them all up and look at them as a list.
Okay. See, that might make me, but I need to get it. I don't have a business credit card. I need to get a business credit card to get points.
Definitely. And then you can just pay it off from your business account and it's all done. But I have found that Pirate Ship is actually cheaper than eBay, especially when you do the box in the bag trick.
Oh yeah, but the cubic shipping.
Yes, exactly. Cubic shipping. You have to make sure that you're adding in, the right measurements for your bag, but it does end up being less expensive. That's the cheapest way to ship, for sure.
I only use eBay. I don't do. I might do a little bit of Pirate Ship if it's like a smaller box, but I haven't done it in like 6 months.
If it's small and heavy and it seems outrageously expensive on eBay, then I'll go check Pirate Ship.
That's about my
And there have been a few international ones that eBay wouldn't recognize the address, but when I imported it to Pirate Ship, they did. And I have shipped those few international ones there as well. But like all of my big cartel and my thrift boxes that I sell all go through Pirate Ship. So I would just say, make sure you're using like Pirate Ship or use somewhere that gets a discount. And that's not going to be just walking into the post office, because then you're going to pay retail. And
can I just add something quickly? Another reason I use Pirate Ship is they're much better about covering breakages or lost packages. Just lately, the post office has been a nightmare for me. That what they've started to do is force the customer to bring in the broken item to the post office and show them. But with Pirate Ship, they take care of it.
They filed a USPS claim for you?
Yes, and they don't. They don't make the customer take the package in.
Yeah, and they started doing that last year because I only filed like 3 in a year, and I ship out over 100 a week. And it was really easy. And then last year they started that asking, and I had a customer bring it into 4 different post offices and they still didn't accept it. And I'm like, what customer? Like, I didn't even expect her to, I would have said no after 1 if it were me, like, this is on you. But that's really good to know. Look, Tay, you might have a death pile. If you do it like I do it, you will have a death pile. That's all I'll say. I have a video, Katie. If you haven't watched, I'll help you. Even if it's like 20 things, then he'll list them really quick. No, I'm. Deborah wants to know. Well, the thing is, and I'll tell you when the death pile came in handy is when the shutdown happened and nobody could go thrifting, and then nobody was having yard sales, and I'm like, I got a shed full of stuff. I'm good to go. I had no issues through that. But other than that, I would like it to be small and manageable versus like, like what did I do? So like I said, I think it's like 80 items that I'm picking up tomorrow, which I can list easily in 3 days and have them listed and not add them to the pile. Deborah wants to know if any of us go to live auction and if you can share experiences if you have been to live auctions. I almost said live audiences.
I personally haven't.
I don't, only because I don't trust myself not to buy heaps and heaps of stuff. Our Goodwills and our thrift stores in Vegas have so much stuff available. Vegas is such a transient city. People come and go all the time. So consequently, the thrift stores are just overwhelmed with great items. So that's where I focus.
I have never done that.
I just put a video out last week at a live auction, and a lot of people enjoyed it because they haven't been to one. And I actually hadn't been in over a year. I used to go to them regular, and this one in particular is every Tuesday morning. And the nice thing is they send all these pictures out the night before, so I can see every single thing that's going to be there. And at the one I go to, pretty much if nobody bids, they'll go down to $5 on anything. And then if nobody bids, they start adding stuff to the pile. And here comes the death pile again. I filled my car at the auction last Tuesday because they would have like one thing. And if you sit back and watch, they're going to keep adding and adding. Like, and if I know something I want right by it, they're just going to keep adding. But the nice thing is they're like, you don't have to take it if you don't want it, but it's going to be different per auction. So like some of it, I'm like, I don't want that. He's like, leave it there. I'm like, okay, I'll pay $5 for the rest of the stuff that I do want. And so they will lot stuff up, but it really depends on the auction. If you haven't watched my auction video from last week, I show the actual bidding and the process and have the auctioneer live and show all of it. But I would recommend if you want to go to a live auction, go once or twice and watch how they do things, because then you're going to know, like, I know I can sit back and wait and they're going to drop down to $5. I've never seen them drop lower than $5, but I know they'll go to $5. So if they're like, oh, I want 20, oh, I want 10, and they're going to sit there. If I sit there too, they're going to go down to $5. And you need to watch how those auctioneers work. So I know how that one works, where I make it work for me, if that makes sense. Pam wants to know, if you don't recognize a maker's mark or you're unable to identify something, should you leave it? She says she bought something and she's unable to find the maker.
Yeah, I would definitely leave it.
I would say it depends what it is. What is it? And were you drawn to it? Do you like it? Well, you obviously were if you picked it up and looked at it for a mark. So depending on the price, I would definitely say, if you're attracted to it and you like it, get it, because that means that other people will like it too.
Yeah, I would think Google Lens that thing. I'm a big fan of Google Lens.
Yeah, I research, but I barely ever research more than 10 minutes. But like Tiffany said, if I like it, the big thing I think of when I pick up something without a maker is, how am I going to keyword this? And how am I going to list it to where people will find it? So like if it's studio pottery, I find a lot of studio pottery signed, but not by anybody I will ever make out. But I know, like, I can put studio pottery, like drip glaze is one that I tend to like a lot. I know I can put drip glaze, I can put the colors. So if you know, like, I wouldn't, like, if you're putting hours into researching and trying to find the signature, to me, time is money. And I don't put more than like 10 minutes into an item, unless I feel like I have a really big gut feeling like this is worth a lot of money. Then I might research a little bit more. Miss Susie, where do I find auctions and lots? So I primarily use HiBid. I also, like I said, I went last week to a live auction. I saw Sandy, whose birthday it is, Sandy Ozark, put in, I do have a $9.99 membership and I source for them. So every other Saturday we go live. I look by your zip code and find you things. That's like my favorite thing to do, because I get to go shopping for other people. And it's stuff you can go pick up locally. And we've had to use a couple other auction sites for the California people. HiBid has not been a friend of my California members. We went to Max Sold. So I know a few different auction companies depending on the area that you're in. But if you Google search auction in your town, then you should find multiple websites. I have to drive 2 hours because I'm in the middle of nowhere if I want to pick stuff up. Julian, read this because I'm about to cough. Read it.
I made my first high bid purchase of $600. Two of the more expensive items had missing parts that make the items unusable. The auction house did not reveal those parts were missing.
Wow.
So I'm going to assume this goes to me since I'm the big high bid buyer. Unless they stated that it worked, then I assume that stuff does not work. And 99% of auctions are as is, where is, and you buy it like it is, and there's no guarantee. And I hear from a lot of people in comments and my membership about like stuff like this, like they don't disclose damage, they don't, and most of the auctions have previews. You can go look at it and check it out in person before the auction. I never do that because they're 2 hours away from me, but I know that whatever I get is what I bought, and it sucks and it's a risk a lot of times, but it's a risk for me that's paid off in thousands of dollars of sales. And I'm a gambler. I couldn't live where Tiffany does because I would be broke. That's all I'll say. I need to stay where I'm at. Some of my Vegas people keep asking me. I'm like, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. Listen, I grew up, my dad bringing me to the dog tracks. Okay. That's where we went every weekend. We went to the dog tracks and I picked the dogs from like 5 years old, which now Florida has outlawed. So there are no more dog races, but I love me some blackjack. I love blackjack. I love the tables. And yeah, I have to stay away. I know enough to stay away. That's all I'll say. But I love gambling and I've kind of replaced that with auctions. Look, here's John. I finally found you, John, like an hour after you put it. Yes, inventory is much less overwhelming if it's organized. That's why I use the banker boxes, and that's really manageable to list a banker's box a day. Like very, very reasonable. I'm reading comments. Okay. Krause House, Sift, and Thrift. I already read that one. Let me read before I click. How long does it take you to do a listing? Not to sell it, but not a sell one but something you have to originate.
Oh man, I've been selling for 4 years and I've property created 7 original listings. I am the sell similar king. So I guess it wouldn't be fair for me to answer that question.
It really depends what it is. If it's something super easy, like Kat said, like a DVD or a CD, then, it's a minute or two. If it's something like a piece of clothing when you have to prepare it, you have to wash it, you have to iron it or style it or, put it on a mannequin, however you list clothing, it's going to take longer. Personally, I don't like to do clothing. But I guess on average, my listings take between 5 and 10 minutes each.
Yeah.
Yeah, a not selling similar, that would take me a while because I would be like, I've never done this before. I usually always sell a similar. I'll find something similar to it, I'll tell you that.
Facts, something.
Yeah, and I say the same thing. 100% I sell similar. I will find something very comparable and I will change what I need to change. I never, and I mean 100% never I never build a listing from scratch. I always sell similar. And I was laughing, Tiffany, because I don't believe in like ironing or measuring clothes. And I sell quite a bit of them. I do make sure they're clean, but I don't like iron or I did get the reseller ruler though. I'm going to get that and lay it on them and take a picture. That's like the most measurements they'll get. Question for Dante. Did you get any more padded envelopes?
No, I didn't. So
Are you
after
talking
that,
about the Walmart ones?
yeah. So okay,
I never went and picked mine up. I bought them and paid, and I never went because I was so busy I couldn't go to the like pickup thing, and it wouldn't ship them to me.
So I had a video. I dropped the video where I got threatened in Walmart the other day. The Walmart people, they wouldn't sell me the envelopes. I asked for a manager. It was a long ordeal. Pretty much, the lady tried to threaten my life. Said she was going to pop the trunk on me, hit me over with a car. It was just a big thing. So I think that's why he asked me that. But no, by the time I got back to like my hotel and cooled off, I got back online and was about to order them, and the deal had, like, that day, I think they stopped selling at 6 o'clock. It turned over. And they were in my cart. When I went to Walmart.com, they were in my cart for 98 cents. But then when I went to hit the order button, they had literally changed in front of my face to like $7, the original price. So I didn't get to get any.
Yeah, I didn't. I wish I had went and got them. I hate that I didn't now. Pixie Picker, when you send offers to buyers, do you allow counter offers, and do you include a note? If you include a note, what does it say?
Yes, I always allow counter offers, because I mean, you never know what they're going to offer. And I really don't include notes unless we've been going back and forth like once or twice, and I know I'm not going to go below this. I will kindly let them know, like, this is the lowest offer I'll be able to offer you. I mean, that's about it.
Yeah, I do allow counter offers because, like Dante said, you never know what they're going to come back with, and you can go back and forth and eventually come to a sale. So that's always a good thing. I do include a note, and it says something like, I'm excited to offer you a special deal on this item. And I let them know that it's been sent out to more than them. Maybe 5 or 10 people have received this offer. Push accept to make it yours, or something like that. Yes. Just try to get them excited and try to get them to jump on it. That's what I do.
That's a good idea.
That is a good idea. I might start that. Because I do not do a note, but I do allow counters. And then, like Dante said, if it's like the last one, I'll be like, this is it. Like $20 is your lowest thing. That's all I'm going. Mm-hmm. And that would be as much as my note would say. And by the third counter, it's usually not too terribly nice.
I think it was yesterday during the premiere, Caroline, and I don't know if she's in here. I haven't seen a comment from her, but she might be. She had a low ball, and I'm like, decline. Until they get to 50%, I'm declining. Unless, now, if I've had it for a year or two, I might be nice and just hit accept and be like, bye, if it's more than I paid for it. That's why I don't do the low. I don't set a low amount, because you never know when the offer will come. I used to set it, and now I find some stuff I've lowered the price so much, it's actually lower than what I had originally set my lowest offer at. And eBay's like, you can't do this. She's laughing because I am OCD and cannot stand to send an offer. I send them multiple times a day. I used to put a note, and I have stopped. The only time now that I put a note is if it's one of my Ethan Allen furniture pieces. I just add a note saying, please message me if you need a freight quote. And I just add that on to the generic eBay note. But I will, like Tay said, if they had started kind of low, I will write and say, this is the lowest I will take. And if they counter me, I decline them. I don't counter them back at that price. And then 5 minutes later, typically they send me back the offer that I said was my lowest, and they get it anyways. But yeah,
I'm sorry, Kevin made me laugh.
What is he doing?
He's talking about two of my favorites on here tonight, and Dante too. There's Kevin.
Carmi wants to know, Tiffany and Dante, how big are your inventories?
That's a good question. I think I have like 400 items in one eBay store. In my other eBay store, I have like 340-ish items. And then my Amazon inventory, I think I have like 200 and something items now. And
do you
Mercari,
do FBA or FBM?
Yes. Yeah, all FBA. I have never done an FBM order. Yeah, and then Mercari, I probably only have like 120 items or something like that. Poshmark, I probably have like 3. And Facebook Marketplace, I have like heavy items.
I'm actually having to look on my Poshmark because I have no idea. So on here we go, 309 on Poshmark. My eBay right around 500 at the moment. I I have been a little bit behind with our move and our renovations and my YouTube. So I probably have about 200 to 300 items I haven't listed yet.
That's nothing compared to mine. I could show you and you'd feel a lot better. I just wanted to highlight this. LPS Singing Sister said, Kat, my death pile is now gone thanks to your Facebook group.
Hey.
Yay!
I've seen a lot of people finish and I'm like, yay. And it's not, I'm trying. That's all I could say. I'm trying. But that group is so supportive of everybody, like listing stuff. And it's hard to not buy for most people that are resellers, because that's the fun part. You want to go buy. So it's very, very supportive as far as that goes. So yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Susie wants to know if you promote on eBay and if you're on Etsy, do you do ads on Etsy?
Oh yes, I'm not on Etsy. It's the only platform I don't sell on. But eBay, yes, most definitely. One of my tricks on eBay, I can actually spoil it. So let's say if there's an item and somebody's selling an item for $10, but everybody is selling it for free shipping. Like everybody's selling it free shipping. You're the only one who has an item and you didn't know this before you bought the item. So now you're like, I have to sell this item, or if I charge free shipping, I'm gonna be in the red. What you want to do is you want to charge $9, and then you want to promote that item for up to $1, and then you want to actually charge calculated shipping. So what that's going to do is it's going to put your listing in more eyes in front of all the people who's charging free shipping. Now, people aren't going to buy your item first, but your item still will probably sell because eBay wants that promoted listing fee. Like eBay is all about that money at the end of the day. They don't care if it's 10 cents, 25 cents, 45 cents. If somebody has a free shipping on, but they're not promoting anything, eBay is going to give your sale in front of more eyes. So yeah, that's what I normally do. So promoting is always good, especially if you have like items that are stale. I will not promote an item that's popular though. If I have an item, the sell through rate, everybody's selling it every single day, I won't promote that item just because I know it's going to sell probably within a few hours or a week. So, but yeah.
Exactly what he said. Yeah. I only promote an item where there's heavy competition, and it's a higher value item where I'm going to make a decent profit on it. If I have an item that is the only one, or one of only maybe 2 or 3 listed, I'm not going to promote it because it's going to sell anyway. And there's no point in, paying the promoted listing fees to sell that when it's going to sell. So only when there's heavy competition for me.
Recently, what I've been doing is I'll list a whole bunch of items, and like 2 weeks will go by. Then I'll do like a bulk promote, and then that's how I usually been doing it now, because some things sell within those first 2 weeks. But I'm definitely stealing that free shipping calculated promoted thing that Dante just said. I'm definitely doing that because I do the opposite. Nothing ever sells. I'm like, I just do free shipping because everybody else does. Not now.
I used to be that guy too, man. Like you go back to my old videos, I used to be that guy, free shipping everything, free shipping. But now I learned that.
I remember when you were free shipping.
No, I don't. Yeah,
I promise you, like majority of my sales are all plus shipping, but they have that little promoted, man. And I'm telling you, when you're putting $30 to $1 into an item promoting, it's like it's to a lot of people are like, I don't want to give them that extra 6%, but come on, man.
But if you buy low, and I typically buy at 10%. I'm okay with giving eBay an extra 5 to 10%. Like Poshmark, for all the Poshmark sellers, Poshmark's a 20% fee. So if it's sold on Poshmark, I'd be paying that anyways. I need to stop being so OCD about my promoted. That's like my send offers. So everything has to be promoted because I hate to see you have X amount to promote.
Yeah.
So I need to like stop that, to be honest, and do like look at them a little bit closer. And I would probably save a lot on fees. So maybe that's something for the new year for me. I just need to I need to close my eyes to I think it's like a nurse thing because we have like checklists on our charting every day. And I like have to have like green check marks. And it's almost like that because when I promote them all, like that goes away. And when I send all the offers, that goes away. So I think it's, somebody said that before when I said it. They were a nurse too. And they're like, yep, I do this. And I'm like, okay, not just me. Lynn and Seth's Adventures, do you like to buy things for yourself on eBay?
why do we do it? Like I mean, sometimes. Oh, you talking about like actually on eBay? I'm thinking about as I
Yeah.
was sourcing.
No,
No, I
like
don't.
buy off of eBay.
Oh yeah, I got that wrestling belt right there on eBay. I think I just can't pay retail no more. If there's an item out there and I know I want it, and if there's something, I'll look on eBay first. So yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely buy on eBay because, like Dante said, I don't like to pay full price for anything anymore. But the main reason is you can increase your feedback. You know, if there's stuff you need, if you need socks, if you need pencils, if you need labels, glue, whatever you need for the kids, get it on eBay, and you can get that positive feedback to boost your score.
Yeah, things I sell for myself on eBay would be any type of like car part I'm looking at, because I work on cars or boats or anything like that. That's a perfect place to buy stuff like that on eBay because it's like way cheaper than going and buying it like brand new if it can be used. And it also helps with feedback.
It helps your feedback, and like I like to support the community that's supporting me. Like I hope he's not watching. I haven't seen him in the comments. I bought my husband's Christmas present from a seller with one feedback, guys, one feedback. But you know what? That's a new seller. She had the best price on it. I'm all about helping new sellers. And that was 3 days ago. And her one feedback was a good feedback. So I'm going to give her another one, you know. And Dalton's Christmas presents, 90% of them I bought off of eBay as well. So it's support the community that's supporting you is how I look at it. And that's helping me pay my bills. So I'm more than happy to help people. Brad, on the other hand, I don't know where he got my necklace, and I love my necklace. I'm like, where'd you get that? How much did you pay? I'm like, it's this much on eBay. That's just me. I couldn't help it. It was cheaper on eBay. I'm like, why didn't you just go on eBay and buy it? But it happened. Midwest Mom, is high bid worth it? I'm going to answer and say 110%. My biggest sale yet, my $3,000 sale, was a $700 purchase off of high bid. And in my sourcing, when I do my members live sourcing, we find hundreds of dollars typically for each person. And you can get it for like, somebody messaged me and they're like, oh my gosh, I got all these boxes, and they might be in the chat and they can tell you all these boxes, and the starting bid was $1. I didn't think I'd get them, and they want them for $1. And I used to get a ton of box lots off high bid for $1 too. So if you have good auctions in your area, then you could get some really, really good stuff off of high bid. And then that's where, like I said, that will create a death pile really, really fast if you do have those auctions. Like mine didn't like glass and pottery, so they throw all this beautiful glass and pottery into a box and start at $1. I'm like, how do I not get it for $1? Mm-hmm. Here, Denise, I will let her introduce herself. She said she knows everyone but the blonde. The blonde is Tiffany, Thrifting Vegas. The problem with me highlighting these questions is nobody sees our names, guys. So she's got a YouTube. She did an intro, but Tiffany, if you want to do a quick little blurb, and then that way she'll know.
Hi, Denise. I'm Tiffany. My YouTube channel is Thrifting Vegas. I have an eBay store. Also, it's Oliver Coco. Those were the names of my 2 cats in college when I started my eBay.
That's awesome, though.
I'm actually really new to YouTube. I just started my channel in February, and it kind of blew up. So it's really exciting. But yeah, well,
perfect.
Thank you.
I totally forgot to put a video. I just passed my 2-year mark. I think it was December 1st was my 2 years on YouTube. And I'm like, I just missed it. Like I noticed after the fact. I'm like, well, okay. Richard wants to know how many of us use a scan sheet at the post office.
I've never.
I don't either.
I actually do not.
Your post office will love you if you do. And Pirate Ship, you can go to ship and end of day, and you print the scan form, and they scan all of your boxes in one scan.
Kat, if you can get the post office to put my packages actually under the shed, instead of like in the rain, I
in the
might use
rain.
scan sheet.
Listen, I'm going to tell you guys something. I called and filed a complaint on UPS today. So I told people my premiere yesterday, I bought like $1,000 worth of Tiffany ornaments. It's probably about 6,000 retail. So today was the last day to like guarantee delivery. So I really wanted them to have them to list. So they came yesterday. There were 6 people in my house and they did not even knock on the door and they left us, sorry, we missed you. There were 6 people, 6 adult people in different areas, and they didn't leave my package. So it said sign and we'll leave it the next day. It's because it's $1,000 of Tiffany stuff. That's fine that they put for a signature, but the dude didn't even knock. He stuck it to the screen door, didn't bother to open it and knock on my door. And then it didn't come today. He didn't show back up like he was supposed to. So I call him like, where's my $1,000 worth of stuff? Oh, it shows it's coming tomorrow. I'm like, well, this paper they left on my door says it's coming today. And the guy on the phone said that he had received multiple complaints about the same driver, like doing the same thing, just going. He didn't want to wait, I guess, 2 seconds to get somebody's signature and didn't even knock. And I'm like, I keep swallowing.
People don't like working. People don't like doing their no, I ain't gonna get started. I have never used a self-service kiosk.
That's interesting. I didn't know either. No.
I do have one of those, but if you read at the bottom where you scan it, I know that you get a receipt out of there, but it says that the tracking does not start until it is scanned by a postal worker. It's like very fine print. I didn't know that. Actually, my mom, she was scanning some stuff and she told me. And I was like, what are you talking about? No, it should scan it. But it makes sense because you scan outside the kiosk and then you put it in the little slot. So really, you're scanning outside of like their little wall area.
So it's just an upgraded drop-off box.
Basically, yeah. Because if you read, like, I was like, no, Mom, I got a receipt, and she's like, it doesn't mean anything, because I mean, they could look at cameras and see that you put it in there, but other than that, there is a little thing at the very bottom that says this is not like something until it is actually scanned by a postal worker.
That's crazy. They don't have one of those in my little town. I keep, sorry guys. I'm like drinking my water. My eyes are watering.
Jim says that he scans it all the time at a kiosk, I guess, and it says that it's scanned on eBay. It has never shown to mine. Might be my kiosk.
That's interesting. Deborah wants to know what's the biggest mistake you made during your reselling career. Mine was selling an item I priced way too low and lost lots of money.
Oh man, so mine probably in the beginning was shipping, man. Oh man, I buying an item and thinking I was about to make $1 million on it, and then shipping was like, oh, Puerto Rico, $90 shipping. I made that mistake a few times in the beginning. That's why inputting shipping in the beginning, when you actually get the item as you're, you know what I'm saying, doing your description and all that, it really helps, because I've lost so much in shipping in the beginning, not no more as a experienced reseller, but yeah, shipping used to get me.
I would say 2 things. The first thing would be not listing every day. I had my eBay store built up so well. It was running like a well-oiled machine. I was listing every day, selling every day, shipping every day. And I thought, I don't really need to ship every day now because it's running so smoothly. So I sort of fell off the wagon and started doing other things. And of course, when you do that, your sales stop, and it takes so much to build them back up. So once you're, running well and you're listing and you're in a groove, don't stop. Don't make that mistake. And my second mistake is, I'm sure everyone can relate, buying too much and not listing it right away.
Mine would be definitely not starting some sort of organization system off the bat, like not thinking that this wouldn't get as big as it did or something, and definitely not starting organization earlier. And then definitely in the beginning, buying what I thought was awesome and not looking up sold comps.
Yeah,
that's a big one.
definitely.
Yeah, I think I want to say there's a fine line. Like Tiffany was saying, if you like it, someone else will too. Not always, guys, not always. But if you have experience and you know it is sold, then yes. And like she knows her viewers and knows what her viewers like. So be if you're new, be careful about picking up what you like, because that might not be what other people like. Hi Jake again.
Hi.
For me, it's been a lot of little. I don't know that there's been big. There's been quite a few shipping ones. I still occasionally have shipping ones because I estimate everything, and I'm spot on probably 95% of the time. The ones that hit you are international sales that you're off by a pound, where a pound's not just a couple of dollars, it's like $10 or $13. But I've been lucky those were higher profit items that kind of took that little cushion away. And I am I'm an hour behind in chat, so we will probably not get to all the questions. So Richard, don't tell them to put the final round. Why can I not think of it? The quick fire round. Don't put that tonight, because we're gonna have to quick fire questions that are already there. Sandy wants to know, Tiffany, what do you sell on Amazon?
I sell retail arbitrage a little bit on Amazon. Only new items, items from Target clearance, Ross, Marshalls clearance. In recent months, I have sort of reduced my Amazon because they've started getting a little bit picky with requiring approval from makers. They've started asking for receipts, and of course, when you're getting retail arbitrage items from regular stores, you can't provide that. So if you're not careful, you end up with a whole load of inventory that you can't sell on Amazon. Of course, you can turn around and put it on eBay. But I've started getting a bit disappointed with Amazon because they're not catering to the small seller anymore. So yeah, just be a bit careful if you're doing retail arbitrage for Amazon.
Facts.
Side Street Market. I don't know if any of us will be able to help with this. Is there a bookkeeping software that you use that pulls from all platforms? Like she's saying that GoDaddy will not pull from Mercari or Poshmark.
Yeah, it won't pull from everything either. I don't know one that pulls from everything.
If you get like my I use QuickBooks. I don't.
I'm about to have into it, but they don't pull for everything.
Yeah, if I have it where it goes right into the one account, like that's where I get paid, and then I can then take that transaction because I see it in that bank account, and then that would be part of my income. That would be the only way to do it.
You just taught QuickBooks to learn that was
right.
Selling income.
Right.
I have an accountant who pulls all of the data in and does all my bookkeeping because I don't like bookkeeping. So that's like my least favorite. Oh, go ahead. Hey,
no, I was about to ask Julian a question. About to say on QuickBooks, so right, I'm about to ask my personal question. So you know how when do you manage like your files, like you assign where something goes every time you get paid?
Yes.
On QuickBooks.
Yep.
So when I get payments from PayPal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll get this. Let's say if 5 people send me a payment on PayPal, I always get double transactions. I get the PayPal fee, and then I get whoever sent me the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I can't get my QuickBooks to recognize that every fee is a fee. I always have to implement it manually, like each one of those fees, if that makes any sense.
No, that does make sense. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, I would probably do the same thing as putting it in manually. I don't know if it would be able to teach it that, because I also do that with like something else does it double, I think, and then I have to put in that it's separate.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times because I have it all linked together, like all my business account goes into QuickBooks. Because if you pay something with your credit card, it also goes in So, but I do that all. Some of it is if I buy something certain places, it's only business related. Like I'm not buying stuff personally from Uline shipping. That automatically goes deductions for shipping and I don't even have to like swipe or anything.
Yeah.
That automatically does it. Now, some stuff I keep off of there, and I want to do it manually. And a lot of that has to do with the credit card because they like double charge sometimes, or if you pay it, it looks like it's of income, and some of that can be a little confusing if you're not like if you allow it to do it its own thing.
And QuickBooks is wonderful for matching your receipts too. Take a picture of your receipts,
Yep.
and like he said, if everything's linked up, it'll recognize wherever that payment came from. So yeah,
I'm a big
It
advocate
sounds
of
like
QuickBooks.
too much work for me.
They should sponsor us.
I know, right? Facts.
Yeah.
I'll talk to QuickBooks
Me and
about
Dante.
that. The two of you. How do you ship with Mercari? She's asking, is it different from eBay and Facebook?
I mean, for me, it's the same. I literally just print the label. You either have them pay for shipping, just like eBay, or you can pay for shipping yourself. But I usually make everybody pay for shipping on Mercari usually.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, there's a cat.
It's crazy in this house.
Hey, it happens. That happens here too. It's okay.
Yeah, Mercari. I just have the buyer pay for it.
Mercari, you do have to, if you're using a Dymo, you do have to like screenshot the label, cut it out and crop it, and then print it. It's a pain in the butt. They don't have it like really easy, but it is just as it's the same minus that.
Right.
Fern is saying eBay messed up her rating. How can I get it fixed? If you've called them and they're not fixing it, then it probably won't. But at least you're still top rated. Does anybody have any other suggestions? eBay's kind of hard headed when they make up their mind on something.
Yeah.
It depends what it's for, Fern. I would like some more information how they messed it up.
Message them on Facebook.
Yeah, the eBay for business on Facebook is the only way that I contact them. So, like, depending on what the ding's for, then you might be able to get it fixed. But if on their end they're seeing that they feel like you have the ding, they might not fix it.
Yeah, I have
Jake's
good luck
agreeing.
with the email. The email is good as well as calling.
Oh, that's good to know. I've only used the Facebook Messenger one. Susie wants to know how we decide shipping costs. So if we're not packing it before it's sold, how are you accurate when you're listing it?
I literally weigh the item before as I hit the self-assembler, when I go into delivery instructions, I'll have the item next to me, and I just assume what the box would weigh, and I just try to make up for that. I mean, you can definitely control that by weighing the item before you ship an item out. I mean, usually I ain't gonna say after you've been doing it for a while, like you can, like this thing of Whoppers, I know this can go into something very small, like that's one of them 4x6 envelopes or something like that. So once you get an idea of looking at items, you'll know.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I if it's something that I'm not familiar with, I'll definitely weigh it, and I know how much my boxes weigh and approximately how much, whether I'm using paper or packing peanuts or bubble wrap, I know how much that weighs. If it's shoes, I know that it's going to fit in a padded priority mail mailer, so I know how that costs. So like Dante said, once you've been doing it a while, you get to know what it's going to cost.
Yeah, but I agree with both of what they said. In the beginning, though, I would definitely weigh your boxes with your item. And then even if you're like really close to it, definitely like how much packing paper, because packing paper weight, I mean, you start packing a lot of stuff around it, it actually gets pretty heavy. And your measurements are really important. I would say they're just as important, if not more important than your weight.
If it goes over 12 by 12, that's your big kicker. If it's going to take more than a 12 by 12 box, it's going to go to oversize. And weigh the item. And if you need to put a box, I guesstimate mine. I'm still off sometimes, but I list faster. Like if my niece is doing drafts, I don't have that item there. And it would slow us down. So to me, being able to guesstimate it, but I would not do that at the beginning because you could be way off. I would weigh some bubble wrap or paper, whatever, with the box and the item, and then then you have your weight, because like I couldn't pack 3,600 items and fit them in my storage. There would be no way. I do know some people who pre-pack all their items, and if you have room to do that, then you could. But if you intend on growing, it might take up a lot more room. Hi, Danny. I'm late seeing that you're here. I'm an hour late, so I don't know if you're still here. Hopefully. Have you guys ever used online thrifting or sourcing or a platform like ThredUp? And would you recommend it?
I actually thrift from all the platforms. I thrift from eBay. I thrift from Mercari. I mean, I thrift from Facebook Marketplace. There's people who sell on eBay who they aren't resellers. They just want to get rid of some stuff. So, you know, they're still giving great deals. So yeah, I source from all places, all places I can. I'm there.
I do too. I source on eBay. If something's selling well for me, I check and see if anyone on eBay has it for a good price. The same with Poshmark. For example, if shoes, a certain style of shoes have got really popular, I'll go on Poshmark and buy the same style, buy a ton of them up, and resell them on eBay.
No, I don't. I would only say the only online one that I do would be like Facebook, and it would just be Marketplace. But I will say I should, because the other day I was looking at sold comps on some fishing reels, and they sell, like, some people like Dante, they're just getting rid of these reels for like super cheap in big lots. And these people, somebody's like raking them in because the amount of money they're going for is like super low. So
and most of those are auctions.
Yep, they're auctions.
That's why I tell everybody I don't recommend auctions, because then you're going to get one of us come along and be like, oh, I'm going to pick that up for cheaper.
I'll give you $5 for that.
I have some on eBay when I research comps. If I see stuff way low, like one or two way lower, I'll go buy them. And then I list mine. 2 reasons. A, I can make money on them, and B, now they're off the market. So those low priced items aren't there. The other stuff I haven't really looked at it. I'm scrolling. Is anyone having problems? I'm assuming first that they're in a different country because they're using a different weight system than us. But is anybody having problems the shipping weight changing, like 500 grams switching to 34 kilograms?
Pull out my calculator. Hold on, I don't even know what that means. No,
34 kilograms is a lot compared to 500 grams.
But no, not me.
No, I haven't had that problem either, but I have had a problem with eBay changing free shipping to not where the buyer pays for the shipping to free shipping. And I had not factored that in. For example, I sold a board game a few months ago, and it ended up costing me money because eBay had switched calculated shipping to free shipping. And so I had to go through my 500 items and just make sure that everything else was good. I did find a couple of others, and I have no idea how or why that happened. I called them and they said it was some sort of glitch. But it's been a glitch that's been going on
for years, off and on. I had a couple the last couple months too, like that.
No, I haven't noticed the weight change.
I haven't noticed a weight change either. Mitzi wants to know, does anyone get their postal staff or favorite thrift store employees anything for the holidays?
That's funny you asked me that. I literally asked my postal worker today, even though she throws my packages not under the shed. I asked her as I was getting out the car because she was dropping off herself. I was like, what do you want for Christmas, like in the gift card form? And she was like, oh, I don't want anything. I was like, well, I'll just get you there's a place called Bigsby Coffee. And for some reason, that was the first place that came to my mind. I'll just get you a Bigsby Coffee one then. She was like, oh, I don't like coffee. Well, then it matters. I'm going to need you to tell me which one you want.
I have a favorite Goodwill, as many of you know, and I have a favorite lady. I always wait for her. I let people go in front of me to check out, and I got her a little bag of the Lindt chocolates for Christmas.
I do have a favorite postal worker, and it's really not the person that drops my packages off. It's the guy that gives me the cart in the morning. He sees me. If he's working, he does one of these, I go around, he gets my card. It's easy. If he's not working, I'm like, nobody pays attention to me. I got to ask. It takes a while. But that guy, he gets a gift card.
Yeah. And we get our post lady a gift card. I think the max they were allowed to accept is $20, just so you guys know. Yeah. But we also like will give her something as well. Our post lady, the regular one, spoils Dalton. She has since he was born, since he's been walking. She gives him cookies. She gives our dogs dog treats every day. They get mad when it's like the fill-in lady on her day off because they're like, where are our treats? Because she comes and like Dalton knows he has to run out. He calls her the lady. And get his and in the beginning she was giving him her cookies out of her lunchbox. So I'm like, we get her like a giant bag of cookies and like I'll give her bags of dog treats just because like I'm sure she's doing it at probably almost every house she goes to, which is a lot of dog treats. I would assume she is. But the most monetarily wise they're allowed to accept is $20, and we found that out last year. Miss Betty, I'll answer this real quick and then we're going to do quick fire and we are not going to get through all the questions tonight, guys. I'm sorry. You can sell on eBay without shipping policies because all of us here don't have them and we're all selling on there. All right, Tay, are you ready?
Uh-oh.
Last 10 minutes, guys. We're going to answer as many questions as we can, as fast as we can, and try and get through as many as we can. Oh, wait, after this question for Tiffany, how many Goodwills are there in Las Vegas? You seem to be at so many different ones. I only have one and it's 45 minutes away.
I think there are 13. You know,
wow.
Chris and I did a hike up to Red Rock, and it was really funny because we stood on the peak and we looked over and everybody else was enjoying the view. And I said, I wonder how many of our Goodwills you can see from here. And everybody looked at me like I was crazy. But I think I napped it, and there's 13, I think.
That's awesome, though. I also I have to drive an hour to get to a Goodwill, so I very rarely go to them. I go to like my little ones because I have a ton that have dollar items, and I know where I can go to get stuff cheap. But Goodwills are like spread out, like they're they're an hour apart. One town has 2 in it, and that's it for me. Renee, I do item specifics. Renee's asking how I list so many. I find items that are very similar. I quickly scan the item specifics. I put in my pictures, and I'm done. That simple. Jan wants to know if any of us source based on feedback from YouTube followers.
I mean, if I see an item a YouTuber had posted, yes. If I see something that's profitable, but I don't like go. So I don't. Maybe I'm answering it wrong, but no. I mean, yeah and no.
Like, do you know what some of your viewers would buy, and do you pick up stuff because of that?
Oh no, definitely not. Oh no, I do. Yeah, definitely. Me, no, not at all. I am a reseller. Like, I don't sell stuff to my viewers. That's not me. I literally just, yeah, no.
I do. Yes, I have quite a number of regulars. Some of my ladies ask me to look for items for them. I know what they like. I know what they want. I even I probably shouldn't say this live, but I text them and they text me, do you want this? Absolutely. Yeah. So, you know, I have good relationships with quite a few of my subscribers and my viewers, and I absolutely source based on what I know they like. Yeah.
I would say that I learned from my feedback on the comment section, and but no, other than if you're looking for a snap-on paperweight, I have 45 left.
They make great Christmas presents, but they need to be mailed out tomorrow. You need to buy them tonight.
They've been eating them up.
I have some, like Tiffany said, I have a few that I know, like I pick up like the paper safety pin art because I know they want it, and I hold it back. I don't even list it because I know they want it, but not a ton. I'm just getting like in my live hauls where people are buying a lot of it. So I haven't learned that aspect because I was used to only resellers watching, not buying, but now I have a lot of people that are buying from me. So, and Marsha, Red Cardinal Treasures, I used to pick up every Cardinal thing, but I think I found too many. She stopped getting it, so I don't pick up every Cardinal thing anymore. I saw her in the chat earlier. We're not answering fast. Sorry. What's the largest ROI on any item you've sold?
1 million euros.
Still pretty good.
Probably. No. Honestly, the thing that always stands out. See, I answered that in 2 parts. So there was once I found one item, it sold for $420. I bought it for $5. And then there's another case where I bought a lot of stamps and I made over $1,000 on those stamps. So that's just either way. Yeah.
Mine, other than the Harley Davidson jacket I mentioned earlier, it was a vintage Harley leather jacket that I bought for $60 and sold for over $600. My other favorite was a SpongeBob inflatable Christmas lawn ornament. I paid $4 for a yard sale, and it sold for, gosh, I think it was $375.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mine would be a Cleveland high bore iron set, brand new. Got it for $10 at the yard sale, so for $700 to Australia.
Woo!
Nice.
Can I get
And
a dollar?
I just recently sold.
I spent it all.
It's all gone. I sold a Kachina painting. I paid $1 for, and it sold for $157. So, like ROI wise, that's 157 times my money. Which is, and I find a lot of dollar stuff that sells for good money. I'm highlighting this because Patrick Martell is the U-Ship gentleman that delivered my $3,000 item. It rode in his front seat. So thank you for coming in here. I appreciate that. We talked a bit. He actually has won eBay Open. He's an eBay seller as well. So you never know who you're going to meet, guys. Talk, let people know what you do. Yeah, so he hand delivered my $3,000 sale for me last week. So thank you for getting it there safely, and my Ethan Allen table, which is awesome. So I totally believe in making relationships and talking to people when you're out. And like, listen, Tay would be proud of me today there. And I don't know if she's watching. There's a young lady in front of me at the thrift store, and she was going through baby clothes, picking out. And I'm like, just get them all. She was trying to decide. I said, just get them all. And she's like, what? I'm like, I'm paying for it. Just get it all. And I'm gonna halfway cry. She said, oh, thank you so much. I had that doll on hold, and she had a pile like a layaway at the little local thrift store. And I told him, I said, I want to pay for it all. I want to pay all of her pile that she's been saving up for. I want to pay for everything. And you know, and I gave her my business card. I'm like, look, you know, if you want to learn how to make some money and sell on eBay, here, you know, watch me. So build relationships, tell people what you do. And yeah, look, Patrick wants to know if any of us, do any of you, I obviously just said I used him. Has anybody else had to use private shippers?
No, not me.
No.
I do for my furniture and like for that $3,000 item, and I'm getting more items worth $3,000 tomorrow, and I probably will choose to go freight hand delivery with those as well. There's just, even if I have to pay for it and build that in, I don't want the chance of a $3,000 fragile item getting broken. If I can pay $150 for it to sit on a front seat and be driven by.
Oh, I see. I see Frozen Cat.
She might be coming back. Hold on. Oh, she's back.
What is going on? It's not my cord. It's StreamYard. We're almost out of time. Designs by Josie. Where do you get your thermal printer supplies?
eBay.
I have a Rollo printer, which I love, and I get the labels on eBay or Amazon.
eBay or Amazon.
Amazon. Have you ever had to have an item appraised? If so, who do you use?
I have not.
No.
Has anyone ever heard of Hill Design?
I have not.
Nope.
Nope.
I have not either. When going into a Goodwill, what section do you go to first?
Shoes, board games.
I always go to the hard goods.
Golf clubs.
I do the outer perimeter typically, no matter what is in the outer perimeter at that store. The auction that I'm going to pick up tomorrow is in Sarasota, Florida. Cam, I'm going to answer this real quick. So Cam's saying, I list directly on List Perfectly, so it is from scratch. I use items to comp on eBay. How would I go from starting similar so on List Perfectly? So I list on eBay so I can use Sell Similar, and then I share it into my List Perfectly catalog, and then I share it out to the platforms. That'll allow you to still use Sell Similar, but you have to put it into your inventory and List Perfectly first. Look, this is why Kevin can make fun of me, because I don't get to his comment till like an hour later. That's why he makes fun of me every single week. Kevin does this. This time it wasn't at me though. And Tay saw it. Tay saw it fast, unlike me. All right, let's just do like 2 or 3 more questions and we're going to go. How do you determine what to auction and how to set your buy it now price?
So 2%. I literally probably only auction like anywhere between 2 to 7% of the items that I grab. And normally, if I auction an item, it's because I bought it, or I bought it and really didn't want to buy it, so I just wanted to get gone. So I usually just put it on auction.
I really only usually auction something that I don't know its value. I can't find it. I can't find one like it. I'm just at a loss. So what I'll usually do is start it at a high auction. And then if it doesn't sell, I'll drop the price and take a best offer. But sometimes too, this is a good trick. If your store has slowed down and you're not selling a lot, listing a couple of items on auction can give it a boost and get it moving again and get your sales going.
Yes.
What they said, and I always look at sold comps to look at my buy it now prices.
Yeah, and I only do if it's rare and really in high demand, but Tiffany makes a very good point, and I haven't done that in a while. I was for a while. If you do auctions, I feel like it brings more traffic and more views and will get sales up, but make sure you start your auction at the lowest you're willing to take, and if you start at 99 cents, be ready to take 99 cents. I think we answered this earlier, but this should be real quick. How big is your death pile?
0. One item, one book. I'm lying. Just one book.
Right now, I have 200 to 300 items.
Mine's going to be all golf clubs. I've been collecting them. They're probably going close to like 150 unlisted.
He said he knows. So if you've watched my video, you know I have a very big death pile. Does Photo Room help you list more items each day?
Is that for me? Oh, no, I don't use Photo Room.
I don't use it either.
I use it now, and I completely changed up how I do it. I don't know if I'm faster at it, but it makes my pictures look better.
What is Kevin talking about sharing a link to?
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Oh, a hat charity auction. Yeah, they can share it in there. And you have a rich, Kevin. So you say I don't allow you, but I won't know what you do until an hour later. So you can kind of do whatever you want.
Right.
And I think he knows that, though. I think he knows that by this point. Danny's saying that Tiffany is trouble.
Am. Danny, she's my bestie.
All right, I'm trying to find one more question, the last question of the night, and then we'll let everybody say bye. I can finally talk without coughing again, which is nice. Hold on. Duncan, I'm not giving you that question to be our last question of the night. He wanted to know if he used all of his last. I'm not counting this one either. Tiffany, where are you from in England?
I'm from Northamptonshire. It's about 60 miles north of London.
Listen, somehow I've magically got to like 9:45. Okay, this is the last question of the night. Have any of us sold any food on eBay?
Oh, yes, all the time.
I haven't, no.
I have. Listen, if you find like stuff that's limited, there was like some Oreos and some like Mountain Dews. Look, Dante's got some Snickers. Then you can sell food on eBay. I will take this out so you guys can see everybody's names. Don't forget, we're here every week at Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next week is Carrie American Arbitrage along with Mike Golden State Picker. And it was awesome. Last time they were on, it was a really great show. Had a great show tonight. So thank you so much to Dante and Tiffany. Their links are in the description. Dante here. No, I'm making you big. You got you're doing your giveaways. No, tell them what you got coming up.
So as soon as I finish the show, I'm going to take a little 5-10 minute break, and then I will be continuing my 12 days of giveaways. I am in the middle of a 12-day giveaways to all my subscribers. So anybody who subscribes to me, or really who, if you can just come to the video and watch the video, I'm just doing the giveaway. I will have a special guest with me tonight, and it will not be on this channel that you see, Prison to Profit. It'll be on my secondary channel, because let's be honest, your boy needs some watch hours. But yeah, it's going to be on Prison to Profit. So that'll be like around 10-20 or so. And I do have merch, guys. My merch is Bless Somebody Today, because that's my motto. I believe that we need to bless as many people as we can, because we're on earth for a reason. I mean, we're all resellers. We're all hustlers. We all have something that we're trying to strive for, and we can't get the things that we expect unless we're putting like positive blessings in the earth and the energy. So that's what I believe. Thank you so much, Kat, for allowing me to be on the show. Thank you, Julian, as well. Tiffany as well. Thank you guys, everybody, all the amazing questions. Y'all put me on the spot tonight, and it was wonderful. It was great.
All right, here's Tiffany.
Thank you so much, everybody. There were such great questions. I really enjoyed it. Thanks, Kat and Julian, for having me. And thanks for inviting me back. I'm going to be back in January with my bestie, Danny, the Niche Lady. She has an awesome channel too. But thank you all so much, and have a wonderful, safe holiday.
All right. Let me wait. Oh, I'm like clicking the wrong button. Julian, are you still doing everyday videos?
I am, yes, until Christmas Eve.
And I have moved to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think I'm going to do 8:30 p.m. I do not want to step on George the Antique Nomad, who is one of my favorite channels, and he premieres Monday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. So I set mine for 8:30 p.m. Thank you guys again. The guys have been sharing the Red Cross. Definitely, if you can help out the Red Cross, helping out the tornado victims, definitely please do that. And we will see you guys next week at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye, guys.